I'm Mark Golub, coming to you now from the Grand Hyatt Hotel in downtown Manhattan. This is the ADL Gala for 2013, and it's a very special event because in essence, it concludes a year of celebration for the ADL of its 100th birthday. We hope you stay with us to meet some of the people who are here and to see some of the wonderful festivities of this ADL Gala. I'm standing with a dear friend and a man who makes an enormous difference on the American Jewish scene, Steve Guto, who's with the JCPA. And, what brings you here tonight?
I think this organization is one of the truly amazing pieces of the American foundation as far as an organization that cares so deeply about the rights of all. And it's the best of our people shining forth throughout this land. When I think of ADL, and remember, I come from Texas, and I know what the work it's done in places that aren't always easy. So I think it's, to me, it's here to honor a remarkable part of what the Jewish community has given our country.
Well, I couldn't have said it better, and I appreciate that. And this is not to be in any way either self-serving on my part or in any way to make you embarrassed. But it seems to me that the JCPA and ADL have in some way been on the same front lines together. And you represent a vision of justice that emanates out of the Jewish community and then spreads to the entire world. And ADL does not only protect Jewish interests, it protects interests in general. And I wonder if you also see in some way a connection in the work you do and the work ADL does.
Absolutely. I mean, ADL is one of the organizations under our umbrella. And it's one of the organizations I love the most. When I travel the country and I see the things they're doing in small towns and small communities, not particularly for Jews. There aren't a lot of us in small towns and small communities. But for Hispanics and for gay and lesbians and for blacks and for people of all kinds, it's a stunning organization. And yes, we also embody those beliefs and feelings. At ADL, it's an amazing organization.
The theme is, what would it be without a world without hate? Just imagine, and you do the same thing. Incidentally, when you saw the Pew Report, did anything in that Pew Report either bother you or thrill you as you look at the way in which American Jewry was portrayed? What was your sense of it, Steve?
That those of us who are on the more progressive side, I don't mean politically, of Judaism, need to make sure we open ourselves up to keep those who seem to be walking away. I think that those who are more traditional have done a good job of keeping their people. I'm worried that those of us that have a less traditional view of Judaism have not opened up enough to keep them. And it worries, and those things worry me because I think we have something big to give to this country, and I don't want to narrow who we are so that we can't give it.
Well said. One more question. Tell me how you feel about Abe Foxman. You've watched him work for many, many, many years. You're close to him. What is it about Abe that has made him such a unique force on the American Jewish scene?
Well, first of all, he's one of my heroes. But that's not why he's a unique force. That's just why I adore him. And I think Abe has unstoppable honesty, a quick analytic mind that often is intuitively comes up with the right response. I could give examples, but I'd rather not. There might even be something I shouldn't. But Abe is the kind of guy who says something and you go, that was the main statement that came out of the room. And he does it a lot. So I find him, look, he's not perfect. Who is? He's not the saint. But he's a remarkable influence on me and on our people.
And this guy has been a remarkable influence on the American Jewish scene. It's always wonderful to stand with you, talk to you, and I have to get you now sitting with us on Shalom TV.
I love that.
You know this man well, Rabbi Joseph Potasnik, who heads the New York Board of Rabbis. You've been watching the ADL for a long time. How would you characterize its contribution to the American Jewish scene?
Mark, someone once said that to be the anti-Semite doesn't translate into being a good Jew. What ADL has done is has gone beyond just being the anti-Semite. It also has many educational programs to teach people that you have to be proud of who you are, because that's the best response to those who hate us. They don't want to see Jews, they don't want to see anybody who's different being comfortable with their identity. So ADL has come a long way in going from just protesting a hateful statement to also providing material to those who can look back and say, you know what, I should be proud of who I am. That's a major step forward.
That's a very important insight, Joe. You know, there has been an evolution to the ADL, and at one time, even through the 50s, beginning of the 60s, anti-Semitism was a very different presence than it is now. And neither you nor I would say there's no anti-Semitism in America, as bad as it is in Europe, but it's not a major feature of American Jewish life. So sometimes people say, then what do we need the ADL for? What's your answer?
When you look at what's going on campuses today, you realize the big problem we have in the Jewish world is we've got kids who don't care, kids who are apathetic, kids for nothing, right? We got to reach them. And ADL now, through its educational materials, through its response to them, to its response to people in different areas of life who are young, they're the ones who are saying, we got to stand up when Israel is attacked. We got to stand up for others when others are attacked. So I think ADL has contributed to the landscape of America by saying we can't simply be who we were. We have to be who we are today by talking to young people in their language, on their terms, to their issues.
That's beautifully said. One more question. You've seen Abe Foxman lead this organization for a long time, and they're celebrating their 100th anniversary.
Well, he was there from day one.
But in many ways. By the way, Nate Perlmutter, fantastic guy, and the Arnold Forsters. I mean, there have been tremendous people who've come out of here, but Abe is in some way a quintessential. Again, characterize his contribution to American Jewish life.
Abe is a person who is proud of who he is, but yet he goes to the Archdiocese, he goes to the Council of Churches, he speaks with Muslims, he talks to all people, and someone once said, the measure of being religious is how you treat other religions. Here's someone who can be a good Jew and yet inspires others to be good in who they are. So he's a person of all faiths, and yet he's a person of his own faith.
Beautifully said. You're seeing a man here who in the trade is called a rabbi's rabbi. He has the highest respect from all of us, and I love you very much.
Thank you so much.
Joe, fantastic. Thank you. A great pleasure right now. I'm standing with Imam Shamsi Ali, who's here at this ADL 100th Gala, the anniversary of ADL's 100th anniversary. First of all, tell me what this organization means to you as an organization that's trying to fight hatred.
It means very much. As you may know that in the last of a few years, the Muslim community faced tremendous challenge in the United States. And we are so proud of ADL that ADL had stood all along the way to the side of the Muslim to defend what is right for everybody, for our country here in the United States, because this country upholds highly freedom of religions, and I think ADL fight for the freedom of religion. It's not for anybody, but for freedom of religion. That is the values that ADL is fighting for.
That is lovely. You're speaking now to America on Shalom TV. If there was one message you wanted Jews and non-Jews to understand more about the American Muslim community, what's the message you'd want to share?
One word. As this is Shalom, we want Salam, we want peace. And we want to be brothers with our Jewish friends, with our Christian friends, with all people. That's what we need in the world full of conflict. I think we need peace, and that we are praying for. Thank you very much.
It's been an honor meeting you. Thank you very, very much.
Thank you so much.
There are some people on the American Jewish scene who are not only the loveliest in the world, but they're making an extraordinary contribution to the quality of Jewish life. And that's why I'm standing here right now. You've seen him often on Shalom TV, the Deputy National Director of the ADL, Ken Jacobson. First of all, Mazel Tov.
Thank you.
And this sort of culminates the 100th anniversary of ADL. Look, from your perspective, if you had to explain to someone who knew nothing about your organization what it has meant to you, what's the ADL's great creative contribution to Jewish life?
I think we've delegitimized anti-Semitism and prejudice in America, if I had to sum it up, and that is a tremendous contribution. America's a different place today, not only because of ADL, but partly because of ADL, and we all benefit from it. Israel benefits from it. other minorities benefit from it, and American Jews benefit from it. So we have a lot to celebrate and a lot of work to do.
You know, one of the things that makes me proudest of the work you do is the broad extent of the way you are trying to fight discrimination in general. And ADL has this wonderful campaign, Imagine a World Without Hate, and you're not talking just about anti-Semitic hate.
No.
At the moment, as you look at the American scene in general, what gives you real reason for concern?
Well, I'll tell you, the one thing that stands out is in the history of Jewry in general, when America is strong in the world, Jews benefit. When America retreats from the world, we have a lot of problems. During the 30s and 40s, America had retreated, and we know what happened. After World War II, until almost this very day, America was the leader in the world, and many people benefited, particularly the Jewish community and the state of Israel. With all the talk about a weakening America, and I'm not predicting it will happen, but with all the concerns, that's what bothers me most. It is vital that America remain involved in the world for the benefit of the world in general and for the benefit of the Jewish people.
You and I have known each other a long time. I'm a huge fan of yours. Kol Tuva Haslacha, from strength to strength.
And it's great that you're here.
Thank you. Ken Jacobson. I'm studying now with Harriet Weiss, who, by the way, is kissing everybody who goes past. You know everyone, Harriet.
Yeah.
Harriet, how long have you been, in essence, aware of and appreciative of ADL?
I actually know Abe Foxman since 1962. But don't tell anyone.
All right, I won't tell anybody. Harriet, how would you characterize the contribution ADL has made to American Jewish life and American life in general?
I think that the contribution that ADL has made has brought awareness to the community here and the community around the world that unfortunately anti-Semitism and hatred is alive and well, and that we all still have to do something about it. It pains all of us to know that the whole question of intolerance and hatred just never seems to go away. And I think, unfortunately, ADL's mission will never be ended.
Yes. So you've known Abe Foxman a long time now. Tell me what his contribution personally has been to American Jewish life.
I think that Abe's dedication to the subject and becoming the spokesperson and the address to go to, because so many of us change. We go from this organization or that organization, and Abe has been consistent, and that's why his message resonates with everybody, and that's why I told him he has to stay in the job until 120, as they say in the Bible.
And I agree. Harriet, it's lovely talking to you. Thank you very much. And I get a kiss too. Thank you, darling. I'm studying with Nancy Kaufman, who does extraordinary work with the National Council of Jewish Women. And I'm asking you, Nancy, from your perspective, how would you characterize the contribution made by ADL?
Well, the Anti-Defamation League has been a terrific partner for us at NCJW for the last 100 years. And for me, when I was in Boston as JCRC director for 20 years. They do amazing work, both in terms of helping people understand what anti-Semitism is, what it means, what it looks like, that it's the new anti-Semitism is different than the old anti-Semitism. And they are fantastic when it comes to issues of diversity, difference, and bullying, internet, cyber issues in terms of hate on the internet. We work very closely with them around hate crimes in Massachusetts, and we continue to work with them as a true partner, whether it's on civil justice, civil society issues in Israel, or social justice issues here in the United States.
What I hope people are hearing from you as you talk, Nancy, is how broad and wide their agenda is. And in the old days, when only thought of anti-Semitism, they now have this entire scope of concerns that touch all of America. Yes.
Yes. They're not the old your mother's ADL, and many of us have evolved. We're 120 years old as National Council of Jewish Women. They're 100 years old. When we started out, we were all very different organizations, but we've been true to our mission. But we've grown the mission. We've built on it. based on the needs of present-day society. And what ADL has done beautifully is engaging with the legal system, with police, doing training, the World of Difference campaign, and they've really brought it to the 21st century.
That's lovely. You've also known Abe Foxman a long time.
I have.
How would you describe the contribution he's made to Jewish life?
Abe is a force of nature. We all aspire to be Abe. He is a dedicated, passionate, committed public person who has been the epitome of what it means to be a Jewish communal professional.
Nancy Kaufman says it perfectly. By the way, we must meet often, so we talk about your agenda as well and the concerns you have, but it is always wonderful to see you. I thank you for a moment.
Thank you so much.
Nancy Kaufman. I'm standing with Rabbi Asher Lopatin, who is now with Chovevei
Torah, Yeshiva
exactly
Chovevei
right.
Torah.
And it is really one of the most creative, emerging yeshivot in the country that gives smicha to young Orthodox, modern Orthodox rabbis, and I can't thank you enough for the work you do. And you, in essence, inherited something from Avi Weiss.
He's been amazing, an amazing mentor, and we have over 86 rabbis in the field.
Isn't that amazing?
All over the world, in America, in Kenya, Finland, Israel, and New Orleans. It's a very exciting mission.
You're doing extraordinary work.
Thank you.
So as you're here to celebrate the ADL tonight, and this culminates their 100th anniversary, how would you characterize the contribution ADL has made to American Jewish life?
The ADL has always fought for us and fought to defend us. And you know, the amazing thing about the ADL is even if you don't agree with everything they do, you understand the importance of the organization, and they enable us to be the best Americans and the best Jewish Americans we can be. We need them, and I'm very excited to be here and support them.
I wish you kol tuv v'hatzlacha. We should talk often.
Amen. Thanks so much.
Rabbi Asher Lopatin.
Good luck, Shalom TV. It's incredible.
Thank you.
Thanks.
There are so many people in this room tonight who have made a contribution to Jewish life. None has been more effective.
How many people have you said that to already?
I have it on camera. You're the first.
Okay.
You are the first.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Michael Miller, who's with the JCRC of New York, and there's so much you have done to improve the life of all of us in New York City. You represent us extraordinarily well. And now you're here celebrating the 100th anniversary of the ADL. From your perspective, Michael, what's the contribution that JDL has made that you've witnessed over the course of your own career?
I think we've always needed a voice to speak on behalf of the Jewish community and others who have been persecuted. They're an anti-defamation league, and all too regrettably that we in the Jewish community have been defamed. Even in the 2013, in the 21st century, we've been defamed. And I know and I trust that the ADL will always be there. If questions come into our office regarding anti-Semitism in the workplace, JCRC is not going to deal with it. We're going to pass it on to the New York ADL office, or pass it on even to Abe Foxman. And I know that if I pick up the phone and want to reach Abe Foxman, I might be the New York JCRC director, but Abe will pick up the phone and then respond to my request. I will also say this about Abe Foxman. He's a very, very special human being. I was ill a number of years ago. There was only one national Jewish professional who called me more than once just to find out how I was. That's the mensch that Abe Foxman is, and I think that's the menschlichkeit of the ADL. They're concerned about the individual as well as the community, and I'm just thrilled to be here.
I'm thrilled to stand with you anytime, Michael. Thank you so much for your service.
Thank you.
Michael Miller. I'm standing with another one of the lovely people who are here at the 100th anniversary of ADL. And your name is?
My name is Sid Wilson.
And Sid, you do some interesting things in your life. What organizations are you with, Sid?
I serve on two board of directors that both partner with the ADL. The National Council La Raza, the largest Latino civil rights organization in the country, and Latino Justice Pearl Death, the former Puerto Rican Legal Defense Education Fund, which is also a partner with the ADL. And I proudly serve as the co-chair of the Latino Jewish Roundtable here in New York City.
That's fabulous. By the way, how would you characterize right now the relationship between the Jewish community and the Latino community in America?
I would characterize it as very good and very strong. We have issues that are very much in common on what we need to do to combat hate in America. Whether it's hate for Jews or Latinos or any other group, we have been coming together with a common mission to combat hate in America and to end it once and for all.
Sid Wilson, it's a joy meeting you. I wish
It's a
you
pleasure meeting you.
Kol Tuv Hatzlacha, all the best, and I hope you come by every now and then and tell us what you're doing on Shalom TV.
Thank you, Shalom TV.
Sid Wilson. I'm standing with a great American, Leon Panetta, who's here at the ADL 100th Gala. Mr. Panetta, as you look at the ADL, how would you characterize the contribution it's made, not to Jewish life, but to the American scene?
You know, I think the ADL represents the very principles that this country is all about, which is that we're all created equal and that we're committed to equal justice and equal rights. And the ADL has been fighting discrimination, fighting fear, fighting hatred for all of its time. And that means that they are true patriots when it comes to this country.
It is lovely to talk to you, even for only a moment. There are so many titles, I don't know which one to use for you, but you have made a remarkable contribution of your own to American life, and I thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Leon Panetta.
Thank you.
Here's the man of the hour as we celebrate the 100th anniversary of ADL. First of all, Mazel Tov.
Thank you. But we don't look 100, right? Thank God.
Far from it. Abe Foxman has done so much for American Jewish life and the American scene. And it's almost unfair to ask of you, but I still will. As you look at your own organization, what are some of the contributions? What are some of the things you've done in your tenure and over the last number of years that make you the most proud?
That's not for me. It's for somebody else to make that judgment. I think, listen, I've been around ADL almost 50 years, 25 as director. I think the world has changed, some for the good, some for the bad. America is for the good. The United States has moved on social issues, on respect. We haven't eliminated prejudice. We haven't done away with it. But, it's not me, it's not us, it's a combination. The fact that prejudice, when I started, in terms of anti-Semitism in this country, was 30%.
Yes.
And today it's 12, 14. Wow. Is it what the ADL did? Yes. Is it only what the ADL? No. So it's a good feeling to know that we've made some progress.
Everybody has said it tonight, and you don't have to say it. The contribution, A, the ADL has made, and B, Abe Foxman has made, is one of the most precious, and all of us has benefited from you, and I wish you Kol Tuv Hatzlacha.
I've been very lucky.
You've
very lucky and privileged
made us very lucky.
to have survived and to be able to do this for my life. Wow.
Well, Mazel Tov. I love you very much.
I'm glad you.
Thank you. Abe
Be well.
Foxman. The thoughts of some of those who are here celebrating the 100th anniversary of the Anti-Defamation League, the ADL. And we're now in the Grand Ballroom where there's going to be a lovely dinner and a program. And we hope you stay with us and enjoy the festivities. I'm Mark Golub. Be well, my friends.
We would be pleased to send a complimentary DVD of this program to anyone who wishes to support Shalom TV with a tax-deductible gift of $36, double chai or more, to the nonprofit organization Jewish Education in Media. Simply visit the Shalom TV website homepage and click on the Donate button to make a donation by PayPal or your credit card. And please indicate the program for which you would like a DVD. Or you can send your tax-deductible check made out to GEM. To GEM, Post Office Box 180, Riverdale Station, Bronx, New York, 10471. And again, please remember to indicate which program you would like to receive on DVD with our compliments. And we thank you for your kind support.